What's up, guys? I'm gonna go over my PSA daggers. I figured it's a good time because of all the Glock stuff going on, going to the Glock V. I know it's pissed a lot of people off. From what I've seen, they're kind of minor changes. You're still going to be able to flip out a lot of your parts like you could before, but I guess it's just the point that they bent the knee to the anti-gun people, and I think that's why it's pissed so many people off, which I get. I don't know what kind of scrutiny they were under, but being banned in California, I don't know if that was police, military, and civilian use. I'm not real sure, but they sure pushed these out real quick. But I know a lot of people are pissed off because now you gave them an opportunity, the anti-gun people, to go after Shadow Systems, PSA, all the people that make Glock 3 clones. You kind of left them out to dry, so I'm curious to see how all that's going to play out. So I guess I'm going to go over this video. I was going to do it anyways, but I guess this is the best time. My two daggers. I went from having a lot of Springfield XDs. That's always been kind of my thing, but I've always carried 45s. I just grew up with the understanding drilled in my head that the bigger bullet, the better. Takedown power, one bullet, you're done, all that kind of rhetoric. Then I kind of got more into 9mm after 2019, because I always had the understanding that I was probably going to have an issue with one or two people. Somebody try to rob me. I'm a pretty big guy. Nobody's probably going to try to rob me, but getting into shit with people, road rage, or people trying to rob me, I guess went from 1 to 2 people. That now I see 4 to 20 people try to kick in people's doors and rob people. So I kind of flipped after talking to military people, some of my police buddies, that 9mm 15 years ago is different than the 9mm now because of the bullet technology. So I figured it was a good time, switched to 9mm, high capacity, more bullets the better, faster shots, faster follow-up shots, was the direction I went. And I'm pretty happy with that direction. I mean, I love my 45s, I love my 1911 45s, but I think practicality is just more in the 9mm. So I got these two. I got both of these lowers from Palmetto State Armory. I think they were on sale for $100 for 2 of them. So I tried to build one, a complete budget build. This is my car gun. I have a magnet under my dashboard. It sits there and it stays in there. So I was trying to make something as cheap as I could. So if some asshole did break into my car and rob me, I'm only out a couple $100 gun and not $1,000 gun. So with this guy, I've got the compact lower. I've got, this is interesting. So I left them open so you can see they're clear. This is a high tower upper that I got off eBay in barrel, and it's a ported barrel, hole in the top slide. I got this thing. It had a plastic guy rod in it, which was interesting. Had a lot of flex, so I got rid of that. I put an NDZ guide rod in it. As you can see on the top here, the coating was so thick that when it came back, it was catching, and it was almost like cheese grater, cheese slicing, the powder, the coating off of it. So I took some memory cloth and I took this down, and I took the part of the slide down because it just kept getting hung up, but it's not pretty, but it works now. I don't have any issues with it. The porting's nice. It shoots nice. It shoots smooth. I mean, it's a nice looking slide. I picked up the slide for like $160, but like I said, I had to change out the guide rod, and then I had to do this because it just kept getting hung up. So you know, $210 there. I tried to go with the Dagger triggers are just gross. They suck. I'm not a fan. So I bought an aluminum trigger off eBay. This guy, it's a strike trigger. Kind of big and clunky. I'm not big on the trigger break, but it's not terrible. I put a trigger bar in it, a 3.5 Ghost trigger bar that I got off eBay, also in it. I think that was 20 bucks. I think this guy was 40 bucks. I put a cheap magazine mag extender, not extender, mag release extension on this. And then I got a eBay Magwell on it too. So I think for like under 300 bucks, I have in the gun itself. Not bad. I mean, it shoots pretty nice. I mean, it's nothing special. I mean, for a $300 gun, I'd take it over a Taurus. Found this guy on Amazon like a month ago, an Airy red dot. It had like 4.7 star review on it, and it was on sale for 40 bucks. And it's a shake awake. I mean, it's not terrible. I've shot it quite a few times. I haven't had any issues with it. It zeroed real easy, and it's held zero. So for what it is, I'm happy with it. Flashlight, Amazon, 26 bucks, I think. The big reason I bought this is because you can actually stick this in a holster that takes a TRL-1 Streamlight, which is mainly what I have. I've got one of those universal holsters in my car. I have like an oh shit bag with like a gun belt on it, and the holster I have, it'll fit this guy, which will also fit my TR1, which this is actually a Chinese knockoff, but we'll talk about that. So it's kind of a dilemma. It's like, I have to trust this thing with my life, so it sucks going cheaper, but I also don't want to lose $1,000 gun to some dipshit that wants to break in my shit and take it. So it's a toss-up. So I always have this in my car, but I also always carry this on me, or I have an EDC I carry on me. So this is always there if I need it. If I'm going to depend on something, it's going to be this guy. But as far as mags, KCI mags, I got them off PSA. These are basically a Glock copy. 15 bucks. People say they're as good as a Glock mag. It's the same setup, so any mag extension that you can find for a Glock mag will fit this. This is Killer Innovations mag extension. This guy's a little expensive. It's like 55 bucks, but it looked cool. I was hoping to use it on this gun, but for some reason they only work on the 15-round magazines. They only work on the compact magazines. I don't know why. I tried to flip them around. I tried flipping springs around. I really tried to use it on the 17-rounder, and it would only carry like 3 more bullets. This will carry 5 more with the 15-round mag. I don't know. It kind of mind-boggling to me. I couldn't figure it out, but that is what it is. And then I've got the Killer Innovations little plate on the back. So that's that guy. Nice and cheap. This is my full size. Fits my big hands very well. PSA Magwell. I have the PSA, what is this, SW6 slide. And then I did PSA's twisted barrel, dagger barrel in gold. It's a little dirty. I don't clean them like I used to. I wipe them down. I throw oil on them. That's kind of what I've learned over the years. Just seems to work just fine. I have an Apex tactical trigger in this guy. I have a mag release extension. I love this trigger. I would love to put this trigger in this guy, but this trigger was like $120, and it's, like I said, I try to keep this in a budget, and that's the dilemma I turn into all the time. It's like, this is way better. That's why I always carry it with me. So I got that. I got the Killer Innovations base plate because I originally had the Killer Innovations compensator on this. From all the reviews I saw, this thing was like the best compensator, and I ran it for a while. I had issues with, all this shit goes with it, but basically it's all apart. Basically, this would go on, you'd slide this over your threads, and then you would take this nut and slide it on the nut, or slide it on your compensator threads. And then you had these 2 little Allens that would press in, and it was supposed to stay solid. And every time I shot this thing, this lug would come loose, and then this thing would get loose. These wouldn't stay. I tried to tighten them as much as I could without over tightening them. This guy got to the point where I was just putting blue Loctite on it to try to get it to stay. And then every time I needed to clean it and take it off, it was a complete pain in the ass. So then I bought the rebuild kit for this because it's got a little spring in it. This thing goes in here. And the idea is you push it in and it will catch on these little threads and it would just keep it in place. That didn't work. Even after the rebuild kit, I think the rebuild kit was like $35 for this thing and a couple screws. I tried it and tried it. It didn't do it for me. So then I went with the Herrington Arms compensator, and I really love this thing. I think this actually works better than this. I've kind of learned with compensators over the years that this design where they come out the sides, it just doesn't give you the control you want. Anything with a big port on the top keeps that muzzle down. You're not just dissipating out the sides. It just seems to work way better and way smoother. I really like this thing. It stays in there. Those two little Allens stay in most of the time. I got to tighten them every once in a while, but it was nothing compared to this guy. I just had nothing but issues with that guy. So then I have the Apex trigger. I have a 13-pound recoil spring in this because that's what I was told to use with this guy. It actually works with this compensator very well. Very smooth. Lockup's decent. I mean, for a Glock clone. And then I have a Chinese version of a TRL1. I think this is only $35, but then you have to buy the battery, which is $10. Not a big deal. As far as a flashlight, I can compare this. I'll snip in a video with my real TR1. It's definitely not as bright. So when people try to tell you it's the same thing, it's not. I just like the fact that these will fit in my holster. That's like a universal holster. And I mean, it's a decent flashlight. It's not terrible. It's just not a TRL1 Streamlight. So then I have mag extension for these. I went with the Strike Industries. This is a +5, so this holds 22 rounds now. Originally 17 with this compact. Originally 15 with the Killer Innovations. It's +5, so I'm up to 20 rounds. I also have Pmags that I bought. I'll say in both of these, the Pmags, if it's super hot or if it's super cold, it's really tight in here. I don't really understand why. Maybe I need to shave it down a little bit with some sandpaper. So I try not to use those. They're kind of my backup magazines if I have them. I run these KCIs. This one's also the KCI. I run these majority of the time. So that's kind of it for both of these. I'm running the 407 K Hollow Sun Red Dot. I got the Optic Guard cover and the Glare Guard cover. I really like these. Just keeps your glass from getting dirty. I keep this kind of in a weird rig. I keep this in my gym bag at all times, and I take my gym bag pretty much everywhere with me. I've always got a change of clothes in there. So I'll show you that setup. But that way, when it's in there, it doesn't beat up my glass and scratch my glass. So it's a really nice little setup for what it is. I really like this gun. Pretty accurate with this gun. It's not a ton of money in this gun. I mean, it's highly custom. I like it for what it is. I like it. I can't say I hate Glocks. I just can't hit shit with a Glock. I don't know. I think it's just the grip angle of it. I'm not used to it. So anytime I've shot a Glock, I am just not good with it. So I really like these grip modules. They just fit my hand way better. They're more of like I'd say like a fatter 1911 kind of deal with like the angle on it and the beaver tail. I don't know. I do enjoy it. Also, I put tritium sights on this guy, but it kind of doesn't matter, so it doesn't co-witness anymore. I think that's pretty much it for those. So I will show you. Oh, and then the guy rod I put in here was an NDZ guy rod with, like I said, a 13-pound. I ended up putting a 15-pound recoil spring in here with a metal NDZ guide rod. I don't know if I said that, just want to make sure. Got this guy, it's a cloak holster. Not bad, obviously it doesn't hold a flashlight. Holds it pretty nice to the body. I usually wear this if I'm hunting. I like that. It's for what it is. I think the thing was like 40 bucks. I mean, it really wasn't bad at all. And then I will do a video on this. These are Strike Industries shock buffers. I've got a Mac 9, like 2011 style gun, and I've got shock bumpers on those guide rod, on that guide rod, and I really like it. This was the same idea, but with the lower recoil springs I have in these guns, I had issues with both of these. I ran an 18-pound spring and this one, and it seemed to work, but at that point, it didn't really feel like it did anything. I have better tuning and better recoil control and all that with the springs I have in these guns, so these are kind of a wash, but I'll do a video on that. So as far as my gym bag setup, I took one of these, cheap on Amazon. I cut this out so my optic will sit in there. I cut some stitching out of here so the flashlight will sit in here. So I guess it's like that basically. This extra one I laid around. So what I did is I took that, I used outdoor Velcro, put it on the back side of this, and I put the other on the inside of this. So this is a Wolf, pull my thing so you can actually see it. This is a Wolf Instincts gym bag. So it's got this little compartment in the front. So what I did was I Velcroed this guy in here on the inside of this. So carry this, I just put it in here. My trigger is guarded, sits in here, and then boom. So I have my gun on me all the time. Like I said, this bag goes with me everywhere besides work, so it's always in my car. It's always in the gym with me. It's always, I don't carry in a grocery store, obviously, but if I'm doing that, I usually carry my EDC on me. So this is my setup for all that. Okay. So now I'm going to go with what I use. This is Lucas Oil. They're super slick gun oil. I mainly use that. This stuff is interesting. This is Slip 2000, and it is a high viscosity gun oil that's supposed to have the same slickness as this guy, but it's thicker. So it's kind of nice. You can take this, put it on your rails, put it on your ramps, just kind of drag it out, smooth it out, and it'll sit there and it won't run all over everything. So another thing I've kind of learned, if you guys have been shooting ported guns, they get everything real dirty and real disgusting real quick. So you can tell I've got oil on that barrel. I take a thin layer of this, I put it on the barrel. So when I shoot it, all that good shit, all that carbon and everything gets on the oil and not the barrel. So when I take this out, I can just wipe it off with a rag and it's clean again. And I really like that. I've been using it for a couple months and I haven't ran into any issues. I usually clean everything, not like I used to. I used to go all out. I used to use gun scrubber and I used to clean everything hardcore. Now I kind of just go through, take it apart. I'll spray this on it. I'll wipe the rails off. I'll wipe anything I see out. And I use a Q-tip and get the stuff out, you know, in the thin little areas. I'll clean the barrel. I'll usually use this kind of stuff in the barrel, a nice Hops gun cleaner, just so that barrel doesn't get destroyed, it doesn't get rusty or screwed up. And then I'll just throw a little oil in it. That's kind of all I do anymore. I don't go real crazy with it. I'll clean it. I'll clean the shit out of them every once in a great while, but I don't clean them like I used to. It just didn't really seem like it was doing anything. It really wasn't, I don't know, wasn't getting me anywhere. I was just spending a lot of time on it. And some of this stuff's kind of rough on some surfaces because it's, I don't know, pretty hardcore shit. So I didn't really want to destroy anything either. Plus you get it on your optics and shit, and it sucks to get off. So, so I know it's kind of a long video, but that's everything with my daggers. So hopefully, I don't know, help some of you guys out with them. See all the shit I've done to them. I've tried different springs. I've tried different things. I've tried different compensators. These are kind of setups that I've kind of learned what to go with and what's worked for me. So I love that compensator. It's cut for this slide perfectly. Looks nice. So, all right, guys. Thank you for watching. And like I said, I'm just going to go over all my guns and everything I've modified, what I've done, what I've learned, trial and error, because that's kind of how we all learn here. So, also, sorry, these are Talon grips. They're the Pro series. So, I was using the sandpaper grips on them. I love the sandpaper grip, but the problem is especially carrying a gun on you, when it gets stuck to your clothes, it's just a pain in the ass. These don't really stick to your clothes. They don't hang up on shit. So $24 for these. I mean, instead of you doing some crazy custom grip on it or custom stippling, I just throw these on. I mean, I've had this on for like 2 years. It's war, but it's nothing crazy. And I'll just throw another one on when I'm done with it. So, all right. Thanks, guys. Just gonna add this so you guys can see the aesthetics. I didn't stick the mag in so you can see what it looked like. This with the extended mag. This is a Strike Industries mag extension. Looks clean. I had to actually Dremel out the inside of the Magwell so it sat in there better, but nothing too bad. Then this guy is the compact with the Killer Innovations mag extension on it, so I think you can see why I wanted it. It looks awesome. Looks good. I just wish I could put this one on that one, but it did not work out that way. So I'm going to add this video after this will be me shooting both of these. So you can see how flat they are, how well they shoot. For you guys out there that didn't want to go with a Glock and want to go with something different, both great options. Ported barrels, comp barrels. All my guns are ported or comped anymore. I will pick recoil reduction and being able to shoot more bullets into a target any day. If you've actually watched videos of people shooting through a chronograph, it's not as bad. I was always told that if you port a gun, it's worthless, that your bullet's going to drop so much, it's not going to penetrate, it's not going to do this, it's not going to do that. Actually watching people do it and put the numbers out there, it was all bullshit, it's all myth. And now that you watch everybody, as far as staccatos and all the 2011s and all the Glock versions, everybody's porting everything, everybody's copying everything. I think we've just been a little behind the ball because everybody put so much bullshit out there that everybody was too scared to go that direction. So I would definitely, if you're looking for recoil reduction, I would definitely go with either buying a ported barrel with a ported slide or sending it out to somebody that will cut a hole in the top of your slide and port it for you. I've had both done, or just a threaded barrel with a comp on the end. So I will string in the next video. I'm going to do a video here real quick with the flashlights, comparing those, and then it'll be me shooting. Thanks. And then as far as ammo, for my home defense, personal defense ammo, I run Gold Dot Spear 124. These are the regular 124 Gold Dot Spears. They have great expansion. I've ran a couple boxes through this gun with it. It runs it great. Depending on that, This guy, I run the Gold Dot Spear 124, but it's a plus P, and it says for like short barrel guns. I don't know if that's bullshit or not, but it's what I decided to go with a ported barrel on that. So that is the ammo I use for those guys. Same thing. Run your personal defense ammo through your guns to make sure it actually shoots. I run 124 in all my ported and comp guns anymore. It seems to be what runs the best. I don't have any hiccups or any issues with it. But if you're going to depend your life on this, make sure it runs. Sucks. It's not cheap. 30 bucks a box, whatever, 40 bucks a box, wherever you're going to pay for it. Just peace of mind at the end of the day that when you have to pull that trigger, it's going to do what you want it to do. So this is my TLR1 HL Streamlight. This is the real one. This is the Chinese version. And you can see the difference is they have like www.streamlight.com on the Chinese version. This does not have that. They both are exactly the same shape. They both fit in Streamlight holster. The holster I have for this will fit in it because it's a universal holster. This side, just the Streamlight looks a little different than this one, but it's a pretty good copy. As far as looking, everything fits, everything's the same size. I will show you the flashlight. All right, here's the difference. Got the Dagger with the fakie, the Mac 9 with the real one. Ooh, wrong one. So left is fake, right's real, down's real, up is fake. So you can definitely see the difference. The real one's definitely way brighter, way more lumens. This is supposedly have 1,000 lumens, does not, I would not say. But for what I need this gun for, this is fine. Fits my holsters. Unless I need it in the middle of the night, it's good enough for what I need it for to shoot with. This guy sits next to my bed at night, so if somebody breaks in, they'll get blinded with the real one, and 20 rounds. So that is what it is. Now you guys know. 35 bucks for the fake one, 160 for the real one. That's what you're paying for. That's the difference.
If you know if you wanted to shoot, I would have been prepared.